My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
We're on easy street, and it feels so sweet, 'cause the world is but a treat, and you're on easy street, and we're breaking out the good
Episode 3, Telltales. Why do I keep on saying this is not Telltales The Walking Dead? I keep on thinking about that third season that these suckers supposed to drop. When is it, suckers? We don't know. But AMC's season 7, episode 3 of The Walking Dead. Okay, so we went from the premiere that was freaking crazy. Then the episode, with Ezekiel and the kingdom and Sheba, and that episode was a lot lighter, but some people didn't really enjoy that episode. And here we are at episode 3. This was the one that was actually at the Savior's place and Negan's place with Daryl and Dwight and stuff like that. So one thing I must say, this has nothing to do pertaining to this episode. I don't know if y'all felt the same way. We all know during The Walking Dead, during any TV show really, like, there's always commercials. We understand that, okay? But I don't know if it was just me, but this episode in particular, it really seemed like, I don't know if there were more commercials than usual, or they would play the commercials at like the worst time. So, like, I literally felt like for the first time ever, like, literally the commercials was like messing up the flow of the episode. I'm like, bruh, like, this is not the time to be showing a freaking commercial. I don't know if they played more episodes than normal, because I don't freaking keep track of how many commercials come on. But I was like, why do we like, this is not a great time for a commercial right now. Leave that in the comments if y'all felt the same way. Anyways, so this is going to be my quick little recap, of episode 3 of The Walking Dead. I thought this was a good episode. I think season 7 is off to a pretty good start. I think every episode so far has been, pretty interesting, at least to some extent, and unless you're one of those viewers that need freaking action and freaking killing like 24/7, which that is how some of the viewers are, but this one was really about showing us, Daryl, he's captured now, and Dwight's there, and Negan. And this episode was really about getting some backstory on Dwight, because I think we saw Dwight. I think it was early in season 6, and when we first seen him, when him and his girl Sherry, they had betrayed Daryl when he was trying to help them, and then they stole his crossbow, which you don't do, and they stole his bike. And then the next time we see Dwight, this man's freaking half of his face is like Two-Face, so this was really like us seeing some backstory on Dwight, really, and seeing the condition that Daryl is in. Let's just say the struggle is real. The struggle is so real for Daryl Dixon right now. Lord have mercy. So then they showed Daryl butt ball naked. This man was looking thick. I'm like, hey, bro, he thick. But Daryl is butt ball naked in a freaking. He is a prisoner, dude, and he's pretty much being tortured. Now we don't know how much time has passed, from when they took him in. But this man looks dirty. He's butt naked. I thought the struggle was real when I would sometimes, not really have no money, and I didn't really have nothing to eat, and I would get some croutons, put some hot sauce under. Bro, I wish I was joking, but I'm not joking. I thought the struggle was real for me when I would get some croutons, put them junks on a paper plate, put some hot sauce on them, and that would be my dinner. Nah, I ain't never seen dog food sandwiches, bro. Not sandwiches. Sandwiches. But this man Dwight is feeding Daryl dog food sandwiches. And you know Daryl, like, this man ain't gonna turn that jump. I mean, they did already have dog, you know, before. The whole group is 8 dogs, so I guess the next step is dog food. So this man is being fed dog food sandwiches, butt naked, dirty, listening to Easy Street. That junk was driving me crazy. That junk was driving me insane. I didn't know they was gonna play that junk that much, but when that junk kept on coming on, I'm like, oh my god, they are literally torturing. And it wasn't like, I mean, just like Sherry had told Daryl, like things could be worse. They could have done worse things to torture him, but just the fact that he's eating dog food sandwiches, and literally every time this man is like waking up, that song is playing. And you can see at one point it really started to get Daryl. He was like, bro, because it's like literally every time you wake up, that song is playing. When you're eating, that song is playing. It's like, oh my god, bro, we're on the easy streets, and it feels so. So they're playing that song. Dwight, after I don't know how much days passed, but he was butt naked for you know, a couple of days, with just the way that they were showing, you know, those scenes. But then eventually Dwight comes in and he gives him something to put on. I don't even know if you could call it clothes, you know, but they gave him something to put on, you know. So he puts on that and then eventually, I don't know how much days pass, but then eventually, after Daryl eats one of those dog food sandwiches, and again, like, he didn't really have nothing else to eat, so this man Daryl would take that junk, and this man got to grubbing, bro. He was like, I mean, if you ain't got jack else to eat, bro, that is true. Them freaking dog food sandwiches probably ain't taste too bad. Daryl sees some of the other prisoners actually behind the fences, you know, with the walkers, and you know, I guess he picks up on, like, they're in the same position that he's in, you know. So like Daryl is just like seeing what's going on, and like Dwight is saying, like, this could be you know, if you don't follow the rules, you know, around here, and stuff like that. So Dwight says, you know, that Daryl can, you know, make it easy on himself. All he has to do is just give in to Negan, you know, and stuff like that. And Daryl says he's never going to kneel to him. So Dwight takes him back. He takes him back inside of his cell. He says, all right, fam, got you.
When you're on easy street.
At this point, it's getting pretty bad, fam. I was just like, bruh, even I'm sick of hearing this junk, bro. We're on the easy street. I was like, oh my god, bro. This song is the junk got annoying. So they're playing that. Daryl is continuing to eat dog food sandwiches, but this time it wasn't Dwight who bought it to him. It was a freaking fat guy, you know. So some guy comes in, gives Daryl the sandwich. I don't know how this guy forgot to lock the door, but he forgets to lock the door. And Daryl immediately sees that he forgets to lock the door, and he immediately tries to escape, you know. So he's trying to sneak out and you know, and trying to avoid some of the guards he sees. Sherry sneaks up on him. Now Sherry is Dwight's wife. Well, ex-wife. His ex-wife, you know, and she pretty much tells Daryl, like, what he's doing is a mistake and he'll never escape, and if he thinks it's bad, it can always be worse. What Negan can do to you can always be worse. And like, and it seems like Daryl's like listening to what she's saying, but Daryl's like, I'm still trying to escape, you know. So Daryl's still trying to escape. He sees a whole bunch of motorcycles outside, so he makes a run for it. These saviors come out of nowhere, say, nah, fam, you ain't going nowhere. And then Negan comes out and says, are we pissing our pants yet? So then Negan, I can't explain it, dude. Like, this man just bashed in one of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead, Glenn. And it's just like, you know what? who cares about Glenn? I'm just so glad Negan is here, because every time this man is on screen, my eyes are just glued, bro. Like, it doesn't have to be even nothing going on. Just the way this man talks, his swag. I'm like, dang, this man is just, woo! Y'all like, what? This man about to come out the cloud. Nah, bro, but I'm just saying that Negan, he's a really good villain, you know, but Negan, you know, again, he freaking does that freaking thing to where, you know, he points his bat, you know, at one of the saviors, and he's like, "Who are you, Negan?" And then, and you know, before we met Negan, it was kind of confusing, like, why all of the saviors were saying that they were Negan, but this scene pretty much showed us why, you know. So he's like saying, "Who are you, Negan? Who are you, Negan? Who are you, Negan?" You know, so they're pretty much like, and then Negan is just smiling, and he's just like, "See, I am everywhere." You know, and he pretty much, you know, tries to Negan likes Daryl. We all know that. Like, Daryl, you know, going back to the premiere of this season, when Daryl punched Negan, yeah, he pretty much got Glenn killed. I mean, there's really no debating. But at the same time, like, in that same episode, Negan had told Rick that, "I like him. He's got guts," you know. And so Negan likes Daryl, you know, and he wants Daryl to, you know, become a part of the Saviors and give in to him, you know. So like Negan, he starts to play some mind games with Daryl and starting to poke the freaking Lucille bat at him. You know, he's trying to hit Daryl's feet with freaking Lucille, you know, and stuff like that. And like he says something to Daryl. He he gave him options of how he can continue on to live out his life. He can either work for Negan but be a dead man, which is you're going to be one of those walkers, you know, that's on the sticks outside, or you can work for points, you know, because I guess they got some system, you know, there of of just how they run things there. Or you can work for points, but you're gonna wish you was dead. So I'm guessing that's being one of the prisoners outside that was with the walkers. Or you can work for me and live like a king, you know, and stuff like that. And then he was like, "And you should know me by now. That is the only way." That's how freaking Negan talk, you know. And like you could just see like Daryl is just like it just seems like Daryl is staring straight into Negan's soul and is just like he's freaking pissed. Of course, Daryl is not. Again, Daryl is too loyal. Daryl would die before he joins with freaking Negan. Like, so it's not going to happen, because I've seen some like people like, you know, trying to come up with theories that like Daryl might turn into a villain and join Negan, and then like Dwight is going to take his that is not happening. Like I don't see that happening at all. Like, Daryl is too loyal for that. So like Daryl, like while Negan is saying all of this, like Daryl is just like looking into Negan's soul, and like and then Negan is just like screw it, and he freaking charges at him with Lucille looking like he's about to hit him. I knew he wasn't gonna hit him. I'm sure some people did like they kind of flinched on that part, but I knew they're not. If Daryl was going to die, it's not going to be like an unexpected type thing. Well, who knows? It might be. But so he tries to scare Daryl, like acting like he's about to, you know, bash his brains in with Lucille. This man Daryl does not flinch. Do y'all remember that one basketball game between, I think it was the Magic and the Lakers, and Matt Barnes was about to I don't know why I'm bringing this up, and Matt Barnes was was about to throw in the ball, and he pump fakes it right in Kobe's face, and then Kobe's just like, this man Daryl did the same thing, bro. But this was like in way worse circumstances. This man was about to get Lucille. This man Daryl did not flinch, and then Negan's like, wow, you don't scare easy. I love that. Bruh. Negan is so charismatic that even when this man gets punked, I'm like, bruh, I just love, I love his dialogue, bro. Like, I just love his swagger. I love the way this man talk. I like his vest, bro. I no, but it like I'm always attracted to villains. Like a good villain, I will always like a good villain more than a good hero. Like I don't know. I'm just always attracted to villain. Kind of getting the feeling that like Dwight is kind of jealous of Daryl because Dwight sees that Negan likes Daryl a lot, and like I think Dwight feels like if Daryl does give in and like decides to join Negan, that he's going to take Dwight's place, and I don't think like Dwight likes that. So you can just get the sense that like again Dwight wants to be Daryl so bad. Like the man got his motorcycle, he got his vest, he got his crossbow, he got the same goddamn hair, the hairstyle, and it's just like bruh, like even though like I'm in a freaking cell and I'm the prisoner, Negan still's like me more than he likes you. So like so you can see or like get the sense that Dwight kind of is jealous towards Daryl, so and then the last scene, so Dwight brings Daryl in, and again like Daryl was in a bad condition. At one point, Dwight opens the door. Freaking Daryl threw up on himself because it's just like it looked hot in there. I know it had to be stank in there because they probably don't wash Daryl. Man is eating dog food sandwiches. I'm sure this man feels freaking terrible. Look dirty too. So, but Dwight brings Daryl in. I guess Negan's room. Negan is like sleeping at first, but then he gets up, because he sees Daryl, and the conversation. This was like really when we like found out like more about Dwight and like the backstory of him. So like Negan starts to tell the story to Daryl of how like Dwight and him, weren't always so tight with each other. And then he pretty much tells the story of how like when we first seen Dwight had ran away from Negan. So he's run away from Negan before too. And not only did he run away from him, he stole some meds, took all of the meds and ran away with his wife Sherry, and his wife Sherry, who Negan says is really hot. She also had a sister, and I think she had died in that episode last season. I forgot what episode it was, but Negan was supposed to marry her, but she died. So because she died, he wanted to get with Sherry, but Sherry is married to Dwight. But because Dwight ran away and took his meds, Negan was going to kill Dwight. But Dwight had came back to Negan to try to ask for forgiveness. And like, just bro, again, Negan, just the way this man talked, bro. He was like telling the whole story, and then he was like, and then Dwight comes back and asks for my forgiveness. I like that. for just the way this man talked, bro. I was just like, oh my god, I don't know, man. But so like after he ran away, Dwight runs back to Negan, tries to ask for his forgiveness, but again, like you can't do that. Somehow, some way, like Dwight was gonna pay the cost for that. So at first, Negan was going to kill Dwight because he ran away with all the meds and ran away with the girl that he was supposed to get with, you know. So that's why he got, you know, that messed up face, because when he came back, Negan gave him the iron. So he, like, I guess put a freaking iron on, you know, that side of his face, and that was the price he paid for, you know, leaving, you know. So, but he's like telling the story of how he was going to kill Dwight, but then Sherry said, no, don't kill him, take me. You know, so that's how now Negan, you know, is pretty much banging his wife. As a man, like, if a freaking guy just took your freaking wife, banging her, and you still giving in to what this man is telling you to do, you know, like, Dwight don't like Negan, but he's just scared. so like, you really start to, you know, see more of how, you know, Dwight got into this situation that he's in, you know. So he was supposed to die, but then Sherry, you know, to keep Dwight alive, said, no, take me, I'll be your wife, bang me. You know, so now Negan is banging Sherry, knowing that it was Dwight's wife at first, and it just seems like Negan is rubbing this whole thing in, and, you know, Sherry was Dwight's wife, ex-wife. You know, and you can just see Dwight is just like, he's starting to bite his lips and stuff like that, because again, like, you can't feel good knowing that, you know, you are pretty much kneeling down to the guy that is banging your wife, and you're just supposed to act like things are all cool. But, like, the way that Negan is, like, telling the story, he's just like, and he went through all that, and we are still cool. And then it just seems like Dwight is saying in his head, "Oh, word, we cool? I bet." You know, so we all know Dwight does not like Negan. Just in that scene alone, like, Dwight does not like Negan. But again, I think a lot of the saviors there don't particularly like Negan, but they're scared of him. Like, Negan, again, the man is a threat, and again, he's a man of his word, and, like, he makes examples out of people, you know, of why you should not cross him. So a lot of people are just scared to try Negan, you know. So but yeah, I think that was oh, no. So before that scene ended, Negan was going to try to, you know, get Daryl to join him for one last time. So he brought up the whole "who are you" thing again, and, you know, when he says "who are you," you know, they're supposed to say Negan. So this was him testing out Daryl to see after all that if Daryl was going to join him. And then he was like, "All right, Daryl, so I have one more question for you. Who are you?" And then, you know, Daryl, I think this man said, like, I think that was the only thing he I think Daryl said one word in this whole episode. I think that was the one word. No. It wasn't, because he did talk to Dwight, but I think this man, Daryl, said, like, probably a total of, like, 10 words this episode. This man wasn't saying jack. So, like, Negan is, like, waiting for Daryl to say something, and he's not saying nothing. And then again, like, Negan does not like when he asks you something and you don't respond. We all seen how he, you know, acted when, like, Rick didn't say something. He was like, "Speak when you're spoken to," you know. So Daryl, he doesn't say something at first, and then, like, Negan's like, I just loved his mannerisms, everything about Negan. So then he's like, "I'm gonna ask you again." And then he puts Lucille in his face, and he's like, "Who are you?" And then there's, like, a pause, and it just seems like Daryl was, like, thinking about what he should do, and then he, like, looks up and he's like, "I'm Daryl." That boy Daryl ain't no punk sucker, just to let you know. I thought it was a good episode, but again, I thought the commercials at some points was really ruining the flow. And I've got that feeling in like in a few episodes. This wasn't the only one, but this was the one to where I really felt like it was ruining the flow. Like sometimes it would come on, like the actual show would come on for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then a commercial would come on again. It's just like, I can't get into this, bro, because commercials keep on coming on. But I did think it was a good, episode. Freaking loving it. Like it seems like the more and more Negan is on screen, the more and more I'm just like, bro, you can't hate this guy. Like, you really can't, bro. But again, maybe it's just because I'm always attracted to villains. I love a good villain. And Negan, the man is a good villain. Like, you might hate him, but you gotta give it up. That man is a good villain, and he plays the part. He's a charismatic villain. And that's when you know you have a good villain. A villain that you hate, but at the same time you love, So I thought it was a good episode. Next episode, we're gonna finally get back to the group, Rick and them. We're gonna be back at Alexandria, and Negan is outside saying, "Little pig, little pig." He's like, little pig, let me in." Bro, I freaking love Negan, bro. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you love it? Stuff like that. Let me know also, what do you think about Negan? It seems like the more and more, again, this man is on screen, the more and more I'm just like, bruh, this man is a boss, dude. Like, Negan is a boss. Are you starting to really like Negan as much as I'm liking this man? Let me know all that down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Always remember that we are on Easy Street, and it always feels so sweet, So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. And as always, I greatly appreciate if you rate the video, my brothers and sisters. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up; it can be a thumbs down. But what I do ask every brother and every sweet sister, is it just? I don't know why I did that. Is it just rate the video, my brothers and sisters? Negan, freak it. I'm Negan. Negan.